So my name's Simon, I'm the CEO and founder of Just IT. I own a training and recruitment business focusing on IT people and apprenticeships and basically trying to help people reach their potential. I read a book called The Happy Manifesto about 5 years ago. It's a super book. It just gives great simple ideas to help create happy team of people, and that's led to happy customers and that's led to more profit. 5 years ago I had 30 people in my team, now I've got 120. My profit's gone up massively in the last year by 60%. Simple ideas to help create a really engaged workforce. Happy Manifesto, have a look, it's a good book.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say.
Change. Informative. Thought-provoking.
Inspiring.
It's fanatical. Inspirado. Inspirational. Intriguing. Inspiring.
Balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like...
Apprenticeships as I am. That's a lady called Dee, and she's done a great job, Dee and Lee, in creating freedom. I gave them freedom within clear guidelines. I've set their profit goals, and they've gone out there to create a great business. I've also employed a good financial director to make sure he counts the money, because I wasn't very good at that either. But I also needed to create a new workplace to take people to work in. So I invested twice the amount of money I've ever have done in offices which have got air conditioning and toilets that work. And that's St Clair's House in Tower Hill, where we work at the moment. It's now full of people. Then in 2013, just following through again the book, Open and Transparency, I set up an open forum where we get all our staff to come along to ask questions, whatever it might be, that I can answer and make sure they feel informed and involved. And this way I was on my way to creating an unbeatable team. I've been running surveys every 6 months. Those surveys were showing me what we need to do, what we could do better. And it was a very good way of embracing this concept of involvement. We kept applying those ideas, simple ideas, not complicated ideas, and that kept engaging with people better. We moved towards more open salaries where possible, and it was interesting with Gore how they've done that. We're still struggling with that piece. But we do now have much more clarity in salaries so people can see how they move up their ladder. 2014, the happy manager actually resigned. So you see it doesn't always work out as you want to. You can't win them all. But I started to network with more interesting people. My bank manager, I said, I don't want any service from you. I just want you to introduce me to inspiring people in interesting places. And he introduced me to somebody who was a business leader, and he said I should invest more in marketing. So here's our marketing manager, Justin, and he's here today, I think, somewhere. Thank you, Justin. And he's embraced the concepts behind the Happy Manifesto. In fact, I've given out about 400 copies of the book to people who come for interviews. So I always think you need to be different in life. And how many people give out the Happy Manifesto to interviewees? Anybody? There you go, well done, congratulations. But Justin embraced the ideas. He introduced a brilliant newsletter. Every 2 weeks we run a very entertaining newsletter, including a picture of the pet of the every 2 weeks, so we can celebrate our home life as well as our work life. And he really got our engagement going with our customers as well. We introduced a lot of social engagement, and we do lots of things to really make people feel part of a family. I would say the family culture at Just IT is one which is really important to me. But staff churn is tough, and in that year we were finding people leaving, probably a third of people leaving, and that was distressing for me. I'm used to a small team, and here I've got a big team. But I've made a commitment to Henry and to other people that I was going to follow through the Happy Manifesto. So I consistently celebrated our mistakes, and we continued to work towards recruiting for attitude and training for skills. So we introduced in our second stage interview 2 or 3 hour session where people come in and they sit with the department and they get to know the team that they might well work with, and that's worked very well for us. Keep learning, keep developing, that's the game. And we've introduced now much more learning and development into our company. We're still a new company really, so we can still do things better, but people say one of the reasons they like coming to Just IT is they're always learning. So continuing to make mistakes, we evolved, and one of the things that I find is that sometimes we get energy vampires. Anybody got any energy vampires in their business? Yeah? So I suggest you get rid of them. You can stab them through the heart, but they do suck a lot from you. And I think that we owe ourselves and we owe them the opportunity to find a company or a graveyard where they're much happier. So look out for the energy vampires, because you will find them lurking in dark corners. As we came towards the end of 2014, we were finding we had got rid of some of these energy vampires, and our survey was showing some better results. We find ourselves at a stage where we could apply to be audited as a top 100 company to work for. And the survey they did and the application we did, I think, was a great learning opportunity for us. First year round, we were outstanding, but we learned from that and we kept moving forward. And then also we applied for the Just IT recruitment company as a great place to work. So there's two great organisations out there which you can embrace and actually be judged against. And it only costs about £1,500, and it's a really good idea. I really empowered 3 senior managers, Dee, Justin and Fran, to go out there and do whatever they had to do with the teams to get us as a great place to work or a top 100 company. I just wanted to see the results. We gave them freedom within clear guidelines. We also invested in 2015 in a new database to allow staff to see how they were doing. If they were doing a great job, we praised them. If they weren't, we gave them training and moved them on. It's important to set freedom within clear guidelines within good KPIs. For us as a sales company, we've got lots of KPIs that people have on their walls, on the white boards around their walls, and it means that we can really recognise when people do well. We also made sure all our support staff have clear objectives every quarter, which are specific, measurable, realistic and time dependent, and we gave a bonus. So every member of our staff has a bonus for achieving their objectives, and these objectives are aligned together, so we again feel as a family. So this last year we've been engaging with more the community and creating mutual benefit. I'm delighted to say we raised £20,000 for the Alzheimer's Society, which is the best we've ever done. And we've introduced Dress Down Fridays, having bake-offs that even Mary Berry would be proud of, and jumping out of aeroplanes. So this whole initiative around community and interaction has been a really good part of the company. For one of the challenges I have within the book is love, work, get a life. I'm obsessive. I don't know how many people are obsessive out there, or is it just me? Just me. But I tend to focus too much on business. But this year, I'm pleased to say, I'm taking some holidays, and I'm going on a sabbatical next February, which will be great. So that's all good stuff. So reflecting back on the 5 years, are we a happy company? Well, we now have 125, 130 staff, and 98% say they're happy. So that's great news. Are we a profitable company? Well, this is the last 5 years. The profits have increased to a good position, a 60% increase in the last year. So I'm not complaining about that. Are we a top 100 company, Henry? Yes, we are! And that was a great situation, and I was crying at that point. Are we a great place to work? Yes, we are. So there's really, as Henry said, we did the double. So what's ahead of us? Well, I'm not complacent. For the next 3 years, we've introduced a 1-2-3 plan. Keep it simple, somebody said once. We're striving to provide clear direction, strategy and targets for all our staff that they can buy into. We are continuing to embrace the Happy Manifesto. You could ship me another 200 books if you want, Henry. Okay. And so we've put Top 100 concept and Happy Manifesto at the centre of Just IT. We'll continue to make decisions and celebrating mistakes, being innovative wherever we can. And we'll continue to focus on our staff, listening to them, empowering them and trusting them. We'll keep playing to people's strengths. We mentioned this earlier, rather than their weaknesses. And for me, I'll continue to try and set good standards and not drink too much Pinot Grigio. So we also have profit goals as well. I couldn't end this talk about profit without showing you a graph. It is a forecast, and the managers are indeed rewarded for this being achieved in the next 3 years. So you have to invite them back 3 years' time and ask them if they achieve this growth. but you can see the expectations for, for them in the next 3 years. So please feel free to talk to my colleagues, to call me if you want to know more about recruiting IT apprenticeships or taking on IT people or creating a happy place to work. What questions have you got?
So thanks, enjoyed your talk. I was wondering if you could give us some examples of how you celebrate mistakes across the company. Do you have certain initiatives or things like that which you do?
Well, we used to have a large poster which celebrated mistakes from different people. We don't do that at the moment. So I think I think it's a personal thing. I think when you get your head around it and you say, look, you can make a mistake or my staff can make a mistake, you know, that's their own personal sort of, takes the pressure off their shoulders. But I think what we could do is bring back that presentation which actually gives examples. And I wrote down this idea of having an award each year for the best mistake. And I think that's a really good idea. But to be honest, all we're saying is do make mistakes and do share them when you do make mistakes. But I could do more.
One more question, over there, Brendan. Excellent.
Had to catch that, didn't I? As a goalkeeper, I had to catch that.
Yeah.
Simon, great speech. I always enjoy listening to you talk. And
thank you.
We are also going on the journey of trying to implement the Happy Manifesto. We come from a public sector environment, and many of our staff, now that we're an independent company, have grasped the concept, are thrilled by it, are saying, we wish we'd had this said to us many years ago. This is exactly where I want to be. And a large minority are scared shitless by it, and I never came into work to think for myself or be innovative and creative. That's not why I'm here. You tell me what to do.
Yes.
And we're struggling to get the critical mass through, and those who ain't ever going to get it out. I mean, did you experience that? And
we did, and we're still experiencing it. It's 5 years at least that this has been going on. And this is my 4th conference, and I'm looking forward to the next 4 as well. So I don't think it happens overnight. You've only been doing this for how long?
2 years.
2 years. So I think these things, Gore, how long? Yeah, it's all for long. 58 years. So I think these are things that are innovative, they're challenging to control freaks like me, they're challenging to staff. But I think they're things that make sense. I can't help but feel that investment company is feeling good about themselves. And I think that it works for the staff. So I just think we have to give it time. It takes time. And coming to these sorts of events and being refreshed and being given the positive energy to go out there and make those changes, even if you only do 3 every 3 months, it soon evolves a great business to work in. I hope that answers your question.
It does.
Thank you, Henry.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Simon. Excellent.